was that washing machine again?
Still can't hear you, Kyle. Try now.
George, can you unmute people? Because my bar just froze up a few minutes ago. It took a bit to get it to unmute.
Is it coming through now, folks?
There you go.
Yep.
All right. Yeah, I was having Teams froze up and didn't unmute. Sorry about that. All right. Call to order the Bedford Township Board of Zoning Appeals meeting for August 3rd, 2020. Go ahead and introduce the members. This is myself, Kyle Dersch, Vice Chairman.
Rick Steiner, Township Board.
Dennis Jenkins, Planning Commission rep.
Bob Potter, alternate.
Jody Rector, Planning and Zoning.
Go ahead, Phil.
Bill Goldsmith, Township Attorney.
Karen Kincaid, Planning and Zoning. We're short Jeff Wilson at the moment.
All right. Mr. Steiner, if you could lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, please.
And it's been recommended that most others mute and one follow because there's so many echoes. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Rick.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you for that. Karen, can you lead us in the roll call, please?
Yes. Mr. Dersch,
President.
Mr. Jenkins,
Here.
Mr. Steiner.
Aye.
Mr. Potter.
Here.
We are still waiting on Jeff Wilson.
Okay. The board will entertain a motion to approve the agenda for tonight's meeting.
Make a motion to approve the agenda as submitted.
We're looking for a second. Okay, thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. The board will entertain a motion to approve the meeting minutes from the June 1st, 2020 Board of Zoning Appeals meeting as presented.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Is the applicant on the phone yet? Since there is not 5 members present. Karen?
George, do we have Mr. Coberly on the line yet?
Want me to try to call him, Karen?
Yes, please.
Oh,
Yes.
that'd be great. Okay.
Thank you.
Hello? I was just trying to dial it.
Good evening.
John, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, we're getting ready to open the public hearing.
All right, the board will entertain a motion to open the public hearing for the property at 9035 Secor Road.
Make a motion to open the public hearing.
Looking for a second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. So Mr. Coberly, tonight there are 4 of the 5 members present on the board. We do owe that to you to let you know that you do require 3 positive responses to go ahead and carry the variances requested. You can decline to present tonight based on the fact that there are only 4 members of the 5 present. Do you wish to continue with your variance request tonight?
Yes, that's fine.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, thank you. We go ahead and go into the details of the request, please?
Okay, again, the applicant is John W. Coberly of 9035 Secor Road. The variance location is 9035 Secor Road and 9053 Secor Road. The property numbers are 5802-018-123-10 and 5802-018-123-30. The acreage is 4.484 acres and 1.65 acres agriculturally zoned. A variance to allow horses on the 4.538 acres and a 3.347 area variance. To give a little history of the property, on April 2nd, 1990, the applicant sought and was granted a variance to create the subject parcels as they exist today. In the same year, a permit was issued to construct the home on the newly created 4.484 acre parcel, which maintains its frontage on Temperance Road, however, has access from Secor Road. Along with the home build, a permit was issued in the same year for the pole barn, which has housed horses and ponies for approximately 30 years. Due to a miscalculation of the property line between the two parcels under the same ownership, the pole barn application was submitted with the proposed setback measured from the fence line to the east instead of the property line. When the survey was conducted, dated April 3, 2019, it was found the pole barn encroached 2 feet onto the subject property to the east. And I do have those maps in there and aerials so that you can make reference to that. The variance request for parcel 1. The applicant is seeking, and both of these are parcels are under the same ownership. The applicant is seeking a variance to rectify the barn encroachment by shifting the east property line of parcel 3 to the east 8 feet, running from the north property line south to Indian Creek or along the entire west side of parcel 1. While the shifting of the property line resolves the pole barn setback from the property line, it decreases parcel 1 by approximately 0.054 or 54/1,000th acre, further reducing the acreage of parcel 1 within an agricultural zoning district. While the publication is for a variance of 3.347 acres on parcel number 5802-018-12330, it should be kept in mind a variance was granted in 1990 to allow the parcel be created with 1.707 acres, which will now become 1.653 acres. It was determined including the previous variance within this request would provide clarity for future reference to the site rather than having to locate a second variance that took place 30 years earlier. Therefore, in actuality, the variance being considered at this time is only to further reduce the previously approved parcel by 54/100ths of an acre. Parcel 3, a 0.462 acre variance is being sought to allow a non-conforming horse use to continue on parcel 5802-018-123.10, consisting of 4.538 acres, where a minimum of 5 acres is required by ordinances. Horses and ponies have been continued use on the site for the past 30 years and is located immediately south of Fox Meadow Farm. As well, the site includes a stable and fenced corrals for the use. The applicant obtained a letter of no objection signed by property owners to the north, west, and east of the subject site, and 2 property owners located on Temperance Road south of the subject site made contact with the planning department and stated they would like to be added to the no objection list. Should the variance requests be granted, the variances required is parcel number 5802-018-123-30, a 3.347 acre area variance in an agricultural zoning district. Parcel number 5802-018-123-10, a 0.462 acre area variance to allow horses in an agricultural zoning district.
Thank you for that. Mr. Coberly, is there anything you'd like to add to that?
I don't think so. I think Karen pretty much summed it up.
All right.
I mean, unless anyone has any questions or anything like that.
George, is there anyone on the line for public comment? Okay. At this time, we will entertain a motion to close the public comment portion of this and move into discussions on this variance.
So moved.
Mr. Durst, I'm sorry I was on mute. I was trying to get in. I just have real quick clarification for Ms. Kincaid.
No, absolutely. Go ahead.
Karen, you stated that the variance was 54/100ths. Is it 54/100ths or 1,000ths?
If I said 100, I meant 1,000s. It's 54/1,000ths of an
Okay,
acre.
that's what I thought. I just wanted to clarify, and then also clarification that we will actually need two separate motions for the variances.
Correct.
Okay. All right, that was all I had to state there.
The board will entertain a motion to close the public hearing portion of this variance.
So moved.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Are there any comments from the board or questions to the applicant at this time to discuss?
Mr. Dersch, not so much questions here. I just want to state that Ms. Kincaid and Ms. Rector did a good job of outlining everything that's taken place as far back as they could locate. They simplified the instructions of what Mr. Coberly is looking for. One of the biggest things I see that this is not really self-created by Mr. Coberly is the issue of the property line versus the fence line, which seems to be what created them not having the proper setbacks from 20, 30 years ago. And of course, it was just noticed with a recent survey in April of 2019 when they found that it encroached. So that right there is probably the biggest issue, again, that it's not a self-created issue by Mr. Coberly.
Kyle, you are muted.
Mr. Vice Chairman, I have a question.
Go ahead, Bob.
Okay, what would the practical difficulty be here? Is it the fact that the barn was built on top of inadvertently built on top of the property line?
Bill, do you want to comment on that? Do you want Mr. Coberly or?
Well, I can comment. Yeah, that would be the fact. When the property was recently surveyed, it was built across the property line. It's common.
Could we have everybody mute? It's hard to hear Phil as well. If everybody muted, maybe that will help.
All right. It's common in agricultural zoning districts to treat fence lines as property lines. I see it happen all the time, and I think that was done in this application. And then when the property was recently surveyed, it was discovered that the appropriate side yard setback did not exist. So that's the practical difficulty. It was not intentional. It was an inadvertent situation. So it corrects that situation, and it really doesn't add to or subtract what was done before. It's a minor modification so that you have the appropriate setback on that parcel, and the use isn't going to change. And when you look at it as a casual observer would, it's not going to appear any different than it has since 1990.
In addition to that, there's no impact of any kind of changes to this. The properties, like you said, Mr. Goldsmith, I mean, it's been operating like this for 30 years or so. And the intended use is still remains to be the same. So there's not really, again, it was not self-created to any means. It's not like they're trying to split the properties or anything by gaining this. So they're actually somewhat bringing the building more into compliance, and the properties themselves, they were already out of the 5-acre compliance. So it's just changing the size of that a little bit.
Can't hear you, Kyle.
Well, I'm going to step in for Mr. Dersch for a second, and I know he's trying. Looks like he's logging out. Let's give him a chance. I think he's off screen now, George. Let him get back in here and see if anybody's going to move forward with a motion. We can hear you a little bit, Kyle.
Okay, I'm having difficulties on this, and I apologize for that. So this time, the board will entertain a motion for either of the two variances to move forward.
Mr. Chairman or Vice Chairman, I'll make a motion. Am I? Okay. Make a motion to grant the variance on parcel number 5802-018-023-0 or -30, 3.347 acre area variance in an agricultural district. And that's it.
I'll second with a friendly amendment.
Absolutely.
Mr. Jenkins, if we could add the practical difficulty of the property line was placed approximately 30 years ago based on the fencing, and it's not self-created issue by the current owner of the property.
I'll accept that.
All right, at this time, we will take that motion to a vote.
Mr. Jenkins,
Yes.
Mr. Steiner,
Aye.
Mr. Potter,
Yes.
Mr. Dersch.
Aye.
Motion carried.
Thank you. At this time, the board will entertain a motion for the second portion of the variance request for the adjacent property.
Mr. Dersch, I will make the motion to approve the variance on parcel number 5802-018-123-10, a 0.462 acre area variance to allow horses in the agricultural zoning district. Again, practical difficulty being that the current property line was set approximately 30 years ago, and where the barn sits, it's encroaching on the property line. This will allow to move the property line so the barn is within compliance of the side setbacks, and the issue was not created by the owner of the property.
Thank you. Is there a second to the motion as presented?
Support.
Thank you. We'll go ahead and take the motion to a vote.
Mr. Steiner?
Aye.
Mr. Jenkins?
Aye.
Mr. Potter?
Aye.
Mr. Dersch.
Aye.
Motion carried.
Thank you. Mr. Welling, is there anyone on the phone for the public comment portion of our meeting tonight? Not a problem.
Mr. Coberly, are you still on the phone?
Yes, I am. Thank you.
Okay, your motion, the motion was granted, the variances were granted for both. So you have any further comments during the public comment period, you don't have to stay on the line right now.
No, just want to tell you, you guys did a great job preparing it and presenting it.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, we will move past the public comment portion of our meeting tonight, and we'll move into the board and staff comments. We'll go around. I have nothing on my end. Karen?
The only thing is, again, just a reminder that we do have a special meeting on Monday, the 17th. We do have one item on that agenda, so we will be meeting again in 2 weeks. That is also the deadline for the September meeting. By that meeting in the evening, we will know if we have anything for September. That's all I have.
Jody?
I was just gonna piggyback on what Karen said, and to keep in mind that the September meeting is actually the following Tuesday, which I believe is September 8th and not that Monday due to the holiday.
Yes.
Mr. Goldsmith?
Nothing, except that tomorrow's election day. If you haven't voted by absentee ballot, get out and vote.
All right, Mr. Potter?
I'd just like to thank you all for the invitation. It's good seeing everybody and working with you.
All right, thank you. Mr. Jenkins?
I have nothing.
Mr. Steiner?
The only thing, just again, Ms. Kincaid and Ms. Rector, nice work on giving us plenty of detail to work from on this zoning request.
Thank you.
All right, if that concludes our comments tonight, I will adjourn our meeting for the Board of Zoning Appeals. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Have a good evening.